What's up, everyone? How's it going? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Bailey Canning. I'm an independent full-stack marketing strategist, and on today's video, I want to give you a behind-the-scenes look at a Webflow build I completed a couple months back for a non-profit organization. They are called Veterans Exploration Therapy, or VET for short. Essentially, I had signed up to volunteer with the Colorado Ad Club as I live in Denver, and the project was a volunteer project. So every fall, the Colorado Ad Club hosts a nonprofit ad hack. Essentially, a bunch of different nonprofits in the state apply, and then this year, the organization that was selected was VET. As you may be able to guess by the name, this is a nonprofit organization specifically geared towards helping veterans. And it was actually a really cool idea here where the nonprofit helps veterans suffering from PTSD and other mental health associated issues from being overseas and war. What they do is that they connect them with fellow veterans, provide them with a form of outdoor nature type therapy. And essentially what they will do is they will organize outdoor excursions. So think hiking, rock climbing, kayaking, skiing, even shark diving and skydiving. So basically any sort of outdoor adventure you can think of, this organization has created an event for it in the past. I just thought it would be a good idea to do some volunteer work. And then it just so happened that I found out about this opportunity. You had to apply and submit your portfolio, and I was actually chosen to be the main web designer / developer on the project. I just give you that background to one, so you can understand how this project came about. But then also, just so you understand, I've done a similar nonprofit Webflow case study in the past. I will link that here if you want to check it out. That follows my own proprietary design process that I have in my consultancy. Whereas with this project, I was working with a group. I was just one of many team members, so I was not calling the shots, so to speak. However, I will say that I was the one who advocated that we actually build a new website for the organization. Because if you take a look at their current website, this is with the Wayback Machine, so it's not 100% accurate, but it'll give you an idea of what they were working with. They basically had a very old, outdated GoDaddy type website, as you can see here. It wasn't very good design-wise. But more importantly, the client had stated in our initial meetings with them that they had a hard time being able to update it. They needed to be able to know how to use the GoDaddy website builder, which I'm not familiar with, but I think we can all agree if you know anything about GoDaddy, it's probably trash, quite frankly. So yeah, it was just not good, as you can see here. And this was a problem to me because, number one, I knew they would not be able to really use the website as a marketing tool going forward. This is especially important for this organization because they are mainly geared around events. So they needed a website platform where they could, one, showcase these events and how much fun they are and the community building opportunities they offer for veterans in the Colorado area. But then two, they needed actually a digital system on the back end to be able to have people register and then be able to send out emails later to give them all the information they're going to need to show up prepared, have them sign waivers, things of that nature, build an email list. So they really needed an advanced website platform, which Webflow is a perfect fit for. But I just knew that as part of this ad hack, we were helping them have a new brand identity, which you will see displayed on the new website. But I just knew that if we didn't actually design and develop a new website to reflect this, all the work the ad club was going to be doing on behalf of this organization was just not going to resonate and really help the organization at the end of the day. So I advocated for a new website build. The group was, I wouldn't say skeptical, they just thought it might be too much of a lift, but I was like, listen, I'm using the latest AI tools, I know how to get this done as efficiently as possible. And then this also goes into the last point I want to make before we actually get into the website build. I'll break down the design and development process I followed, but when it comes to building a new website for your company, sometimes all you need is a one-page website or maybe a 2 or 3-page website with a connected CMS, whether that be a portfolio with case studies or, in this case, events. This does not need to be a massive undertaking. Rather, you can just get a one-page website up and running, and then you can always build upon from there. So that's what I do sometimes when a client comes to me and maybe they only have a sub $10,000 budget, for example. I'm like, listen, we can't do a full-on 10-page website build with that, or even a 5-page website build, but we can certainly develop a nice high-end one-page website. And then from there, you're going to be on the Webflow platform, which is going to give you the website platform and infrastructure you need to actually start to use your website as a digital marketing tool. And then, of course, you're going to be able to build upon that over time. So this was what the ad hack presentation cover slide looked like. When it came to actually building out the wireframes, here's the sitemap. So you'll see we have a home page, we have an about page, and also this Embrace the Suck acronym that kind of defines the brand. We then have a main events page where all the events will be listed, along with an event template for all the individual events to be displayed within. That, of course, is going to be connected to the Webflow CMS. Then we have a donation page, of course, because it is a nonprofit that relies on small dollar donations, and then also the contact. One thing on the donations, though, also was that over the long term, this organization wanted to be able to build out partnerships and get corporate sponsors as well. So that was another reason why I advocated for the website, because in this case, like, the website is the thing that most people are going to be visiting for the first time, other than perhaps their Instagram profile, which they have a very good following on. I just knew that impressions matter, and that in order for the organization to be successful, they needed to have a fantastic brand presence online. So that's why I was so adamant about it. And another reason being, while I do obviously have a lot of client work, I knew using this Rayloom AI site builder along with the Rayloom component library that I was going to be able to develop these wireframes in a very efficient process, and then eventually be able to move them into Figma to design them based on the idea I had in my mind. So that's where it comes up with. You'll see here, these are the UX wireframes. So I made this with the Rayloom AI site builder, as you can see here. It was very simple to put together. Once I was done with this, I made a quick screen recording presentation, basically presenting this to the different members of the ad hack team I was working with, just to get their approval and their sign off, just so they knew what we were building towards. Then from there, it was on me to actually get this project developed. So let's open up Figma so you can see what the design looked like. I'll run you through the general design before we actually get into the full live website walkthrough. As you can see here, taking a step back, if we look at the old website, you can see that, you know, they had like this generic background, they had a lot of blacks here and all that type of stuff, but they did already have the logo, as you can see here. So I pulled out the colors that they were using on the logo, and I put it into this website, as you can see here. Now, back to the Figma wireframes, you can see we have the blue going on. But then also then we go down, we'll have like this about section. So the idea here was to have a quick about video. As part of the ad hack, they were recording like a 2 to 3 minute video overview of the organization. Then we had some quick links to their mission, the vision, the who we are. This way people would quickly, right below scrolling down, they would obviously get a very strong overview of the organization and what their goals are. And then I also implemented a gradient here to call out more attention to the statistics. So for example, talking about how many veterans have taken their lives since 2001, the war on terror, how many of them are more likely to die by suicide compared to the general population, the fact that it's estimated that 22 veterans in the United States every day take their life by suicide, which is of course a tragedy. The organization was also recording some video testimonials. Instead of just having a standard white background, I thought it'd be cool to have a bit of a white texture to add some more design value to the website and make it stand out from just generic template design. So that's where this wave-like texture comes into play. It also kind of is a little bit of a play on the mountains here in Colorado, the Rocky Mountains, of course. I presented this to the client on a live call. Quite frankly, you might think I'm very well spoken with these videos, but I really don't like public speaking, quite honestly. But I managed to get through the presentation just fine, and the client really loved the design, so that was good. Ladies and gentlemen, real quick, if you're getting value out of this video and you happen to be either the founder of a nonprofit, the CEO/executive, or one of the marketing heads involved with the nonprofit, and you know you need to dramatically improve your website, maybe even your brand identity before you can even start thinking about a website project, and then ultimately you may even need a marketing plan to be able to get the most out of the website once it's live, I would love to help you out. And if you want to get on a call with me, there is a video form in the description of this video. It takes just a few minutes to fill out. It's about 5 questions in total. But basically, if you're strongly considering a project, it gives me all the information I need to ensure we might be a good fit to work together. And if you are qualified, you'll be invited to automatically book a time directly on my calendar where we can meet virtually. Now, during this conversation, do not worry, I am not going to be trying to sell you on my services. In fact, if I don't think we're a good fit to work together, I will have no problem being upfront and honest, telling you that, and I'll be happy to help you try and find someone in my network who may be a better fit for you. But if we are a good fit, Essentially, I will take the time to learn more about your organization, its mission, what your goals are, what your competitors in the space look like. And based on everything you tell me, I will help you outline a branding roadmap. I'll help you outline what a web design and development game plan would look like. And finally, I'll help you think about what are the key marketing channels and strategies you're going to want to follow once you get the website live in order to reach your marketing and sales goals. So if that sounds interesting to you, again, link in the description of this video. Fill out the form. Would love to meet with you. Now, with the shameless self-promotion having been handled, listen, we got to pay the bills somehow. Let's get back into the video. So then it was time to move forward into development. Here is the live website. As you can see, we have this video. So this was what the nonprofit ad hack had put together. So this is just some B-roll montage that I cut up and added to the hero section. This way, people get a quick overview of what exactly the organization is, and they can even see, in this case, them doing the outdoor adventures in the Rocky Mountains here. Then we have that about section. If you were to click on this video, you get an auto-playing video here of the founder of the organization being featured, who is a super cool dude. He was really happy with how the website came out. And actually, a couple months after we launched the website, they did a summer fundraiser at a very cool rooftop co-working space here in Denver, overlooking the skyline. I attended, and I even got a shout out in his speech, which was very nice. And then also when I was at the event and people were like, "Oh, how do you know the organization?" I was like, "Oh, I actually just like made their website." And they were like, "You made the website? You are like so cool, blah, blah, blah." I was like, listen, I just, it's my job. What do you want me to tell you? Here we have the about section. We have some social proof here. So we're talking about how many veterans and family members we've helped and how many trips we've run to date. Automatically, you see those two numbers and you're like, this is a legit organization. Then we have the fast facts here in terms of like the organization's mission and vision. Then here we tell the story. So that's another reason why I wanted the website to have this design, was that I knew that we needed a new website to really tell the story in terms of what the problem the organization is looking to actually solve. That was one of the main branding opportunities we saw. So here is basically how we're trying to help the mental health crisis among veterans. These events are connected to the Webflow CMS. We'll take a look at that in a second. Then we have an about page. I'll show you that real quick. So here we have a bit more information on the organization. They had a lot of good photography, fortunately. Then we have this alternating color section, so for the different features. And then we have an image gallery in a slider for some interactivity. And then onto the events here. So one of the main things that the organization was looking to highlight, like I said, were the different events. And they needed a website platform that was going to be able to make it easy for their non-technical volunteers to be able to add new events as they came up, take down past events, and just manage events overall. So you can see here, this is the main events page. Then this is the events template we're now looking at. This is connected to the Webflow CMS. I'll show you what that looks like in the back end in a moment. Here you can see that we have the register for event and all this type of stuff here. So some fast facts in terms of the day and the place. Hero section, quick overview of the event, a photo gallery and a light box, as you can see here, and then a registration form for people to sign up for the event. And then from there, important to know that everything handled in the Webflow backend. So this is the same event we were just looking at, as you can see here. Basically, it's very easy. You don't need any technical experience. This is one of the reasons why I love working with Webflow, is that the CMS makes it super easy. Even if I'm going to be handing the website off to a client at the conclusion of the build, they don't need any technical experience to be able to go in and update the website with new content so that they can really use it as a marketing tool to achieve their, in this case, donation and impact goals. These fields are free, but basically we had them already made so in case they wanted to leverage them in the future. And also worth noting here is that I will also put together a video training user manual, basically screen recording style videos going over how to use the website. This way they're able to actually manage the website accordingly. Finally, we have a donate page. So this is very nicely designed here, as you can see. And then they can make a donation directly on Colorado Gives in this case. So that is handled by an outside platform. And then finally, a contact page. So this is a very simple, straightforward design. As you can see, it is, after all, a volunteer project. So this was the minimum viable scope of work I thought they needed. But yeah, it probably took me about a month to put together after the project, all things considered. And then the client was thrilled with it. I believe they also got a very big sponsorship/donation for a Google program that helps nonprofits. They thought that the website was instrumental in being able to land that major endorsement/sponsorship. So I was happy to play a very small role in their success with this case. So yeah, that's the website build. Like I said, this is not my typical process. This was just a quick volunteer project, but still wanted to showcase it to you because other than the other nonprofit Webflow build, this is the main nonprofit website in my portfolio. So I would say it's better than the vast majority of nonprofit websites out there. But most importantly, on top of the design, the key thing is that it gives the organization flexibility to add more content and just have everything in place they need to build upon and be able to have an effective digital marketing strategy. So hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely make sure to like the video if you actually enjoyed it. Comment if you have any questions. I'll get back to you when I have some time. And if you're a nonprofit, whether you're the owner of the nonprofit, the founder, maybe you're the marketing head, whatever your role is, maybe you're even an administrative social media type person, if you're looking to build a new website for your nonprofit, you like what you see here, check out my other case study if you're still not sold. But otherwise, there's a link in the description of this video where you can book a meeting with yours truly. I'll help you out as best I can. And then from there, if we're a good fit to work together, we'll get started right away on a project. So that's all for me in this video. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. See you in the next one.